Hello everyone, and welcome to Network Labs. Today in this video, I will show how to configure load balancing using policy with failover in a Mikrotik router. In the diagram, we have a Mikrotik router and connected to two ISPs, ISP1 and ISP2. It has two LAN networks, LAN 1 and LAN 2. In real world, the WAN IP addresses could be public IP addresses. LAN networks could be VLAN-based or bridge. Here, automatic failover works for both directions. If ISP1 fails, both LAN traffic will traverse via ISP2. The same case when ISP2 fails. When both ISPs are up, normal traffic flows from both LANs to their primary link. Let us start, and I will show you the step-by-step configurations. First, check the initial configuration: interface links, IP addresses, DNS, and Internet connection. Now go to routes and check all the required configurations. First, configure check and recursive routes in the main table to monitor WAN status. For WAN 1, the destination address is 8.8.8.8/32, and the gateway is ISP1. Enable check gateway to ping. Distance is 1 and retain both the scope and target scope. For WAN 2, the destination address is 1.1.1.1/32, and the gateway is ISP2. Enable check gateway to ping. Distance is 1 and retain both the scope and target scope. Next, create recursive default routes. For ISP1, the destination address is default. Gateway is 8.8.8.8. Check gateway is none. Distance is 1. And increase both the scope and target scope to 30. Please take note of the target scope here. For ISP2, the destination address is default. Gateway is 1.1.1.1. Check gateway is none. Distance is 2, and increase both the scope and target scope to 30. That is it for the failover and recursive part. Here, if ISP1 fails, 8.8.8.8 will become inactive, and default route will switch to ISP2 automatically. Traffic will revert if ISP1 comes back up. Now let us go and check the configurations for load balancing. Without these, all the LAN traffic will primarily traverse to ISP1. First, create new FIB-enabled routing tables. This will isolate LAN traffic and independent WAN priorities. Next, create policy routing or mangle rules. We use these mangle rules to direct LAN traffic to correct routing table. For LAN 1 network, it will be directed to routing mark LAN 1. In General tab, chain is pre-routing and specify the source address. In Action tab, action is mark routing. Choose the routing mark for LAN 1. For LAN 2 network, it will be directed to routing mark LAN 2. Choose the routing mark for LAN 2 and specify the source address. Next, create recursive default routes in LAN tables. For LAN 1, create two recursive default routes, one for primary and one for backup. You will notice here that primary is in color black while blue for the backup route. For LAN 1 primary route, the destination address is default. Gateway is 8.8.8.8. Do not check the gateway. Distance is 1. Scope is 30, and target scope is 11. Choose LAN 1 routing table. Please take note of the scope values. For LAN 1 backup route, the destination address is default. Gateway is 1.1.1.1. Do not check the gateway. Distance is 2. Scope is 30 and target scope is 11. Choose LAN 1 routing table. For LAN 2 primary route, the destination address is default. Gateway is 1.1.1.1.1. Do not check the gateway. Distance is 1. Scope is 30 and target scope is 11. Choose LAN 2 routing table. Please take note of the scope values. For LAN 2 backup route, the destination address is default. Gateway is 8.8.8.8. Do not check the gateway. Distance is 2. Scope is 30 and target scope is 11. Choose LAN 2 routing table. Next, create routing rules. These are used for recursive resolution, and tables can see the main table properly. Create rule for LAN 1, LAN 2, with action lookup only in table. Then the lookup to main table. Now, one of the most important part is to create NAT based on the routing mark and routing tables. For LAN 1, chain is source NAT, and routing mark is LAN 1. Action is masquerade. For LAN 2, chain is source NAT, and routing mark is LAN 2. Action is masquerade. For the final phase, let us test the load balancing and failover. Connect each host to their corresponding port. To test, both hosts are now connected to their assigned interface. Normally, both have internet connection and load balanced symmetrically. Now, disable WAN 1. Still, both hosts have internet connection. Go to IP routes and we can see that the primary link is now 1.2. Enable WAN 1 again, and the routes comes back automatically. Next, disable WAN 2. Check the routes and we can see that the primary link is now via WAN 1. To simulate more, try this and conduct ping, trace route speed tests on both hosts when disabling per Wan Link. I hope that this is informative to you and thank you for watching.